Welcome back, fam. Sorry for the absence, but I've ran into some obstacles dealing with health issues and trying to evolve the threshold. Please join me in the event room as I attempt to address and explore the different aspects of our health and well-being, starting with our mental health with Dr. Greg Seaton. Welcome back, fam. This is your host, D. Garcia. I'm here with a gentleman that I've been knowing for a while, and then I found out that he was actually Dr. Dr. Cornel West 2.0. No, I'm just kidding. Please, sir, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Hey, well, hello everyone. My name is Greg Seaton. People refer to me as Dr. G. My area of expertise is developmental psychology. I've studied at Harvard, Brown, and University of Penn. And one of the things that I'm very interested in is coping, stress engagement, and outcomes. So how do people deal with stress? What type of stress they encounter? And particularly, I'm interested in males in the community and how we understand, interpret, deal with both threat and stress.
Right. I mean, well, in the current situation, do you have any? How are especially Black men coping with the coronavirus situation?
I think one of the challenges for men in general and Black men in particular is acknowledging that there is a challenge. Oftentimes we're told, don't cry, toughen up, be a man.
Right.
And
do some push-ups.
Yeah. Do some push-ups.
Right.
But there's all of this push for us to forget what we're feeling, to separate ourselves from reality, and then act like something isn't happening. And so for us right now, I see a lot of videos on social media, so it's unscientific, but men in general not following the protocols. So you have a number of men in Michigan sort of protesting. You have a number of men in my hometown of Philadelphia, younger men having a basketball tournament in a COVID hotspot. And so part of that is youth, and part of that is trying to dismiss a reality or thinking that you're tougher than. It's wrapped up in this whole notion of masculinity, but it plays out differently by race.
Okay. And men, not to say that women can't lead, but men need to at least be leaders, and they're kind of leading the younger generation down the wrong path, right? By example. But why isn't mental health spoken of? It don't seem as sexy as a thing to combat or to fix. Why isn't mental health spoken of in mainstream media as a problem that people really need to take care of and head first, instead of kind of making it all nonchalant?
Right. For so long, it's interesting because for so long, mental health has always had a stigma. They're crazy. They're going to the loony bin, or you done lost your mind. You out of your cotton picking mind. So
Lord, we're gonna go right. We're on the South,
Right. But
right.
there's always been this stigma around mental health, and no one wants to seem less than or deficient. And particularly for marginalized communities, whether it's Black, Hispanic, or even poor white, to interact with mainstream society, there's this pressure to not show your vulnerability. You can't go to work and be yourself. Or when you at work, you have to be 10 times better than the next man or woman that doesn't come from the same background as you. So there's always been this push in our communities in particular to divorce yourself from what you're truly feeling, but perform in spite of. And to acknowledge that you're really having a stressful encounter, for some folks, it is an acceptance that you're weak. But the reality is that we all have weakness. We all are weak at some point.
Yeah.
If you live long enough, you will encounter multiple types of kryptonite. So Superman had weaknesses, and so do we.
Right. Hey man, I'm gonna ask you something. You running from me, man? Because I don't want you outside the camera.
No,
I don't want you outside the camera. I know it's supposed to be 6 feet.
I'm trying to respect the 6. I'm trying to respect the 6.
I don't want you out the camera, man. I'm like,
it's COVID time, man. I'm trying to respect the 6.
That's right.
You might get your preacher moment.
Yeah, see, I don't want it. But how much does a mental health affect any other aspects of a person? I mean, is it just I don't think fast enough? No, it's got to be something deeper than that, right? I mean,
I think mental health impacts every area of your life. For example, depression, it can create loss of appetite. It could push one to seek enjoyment or escape through drugs or alcohol, which spirals into something completely different. Mental health can also impact your spiritual well-being, and where you want to isolate yourself not only from.
I heard that right.
You want to isolate yourself not only from others, but isolate yourself from God, and so you don't begin to allow that communication to continue to take place. So mental health and all of the other aspects of self are bidirectional, meaning that there's a give and take between the mental and the physical. There's a give and take between the mental and the spiritual. And when those things are out of balance, we just have bad outcomes.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of evident with a lot of people. It's evident.
Right.
What are some of the myths concerning I being a black man? It's going to affect me. So what are some of the myths concerning minorities actually seeking help as far as mental health?
Yeah. One of the biggest myths that I've had to contend with or fight against is that I grew up in a old school Baptist church. And it was literally preached from the pulpit by an old school preacher that he taught what he understood for his time. That if you had to go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, that you didn't trust the Lord.
Wow.
And my opinion is, if you have cancer, if you break a leg, if you can't see the chalkboard, and you go see an eye doctor, it doesn't mean that you don't have faith in God. It just means that you need to take advantage of some of the other supports that God placed there for you.
That's right.
And so for members of faith communities, I want to tell you that just because you have mental health challenges and you seek help from a mental health professional, it does not mean that you don't have faith in God. It means that you have wisdom enough to go seek help where you need help. So that's one of the big stigmas that's out there, is that if I admit that I need help, like help me, that I'm saying that I am weak, I am deficient, and I want to say that as part of living, as part of being a human being, there will be times that you will need help, and it will be silly of you to not acknowledge it and to help seek. Because one of the old school expressions is, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't tell nobody you hungry or you need help, it ain't the folks around you fault for not helping you. It's your fault for not articulating what you need.
Yeah.
Make your needs known. And just because you need something does not mean that you're deficient. It means you're human.
Right. I don't know about you or anybody else, but I open my mouth wide when I want to eat. I get to it.
I've been fasting. Look like I've been fasting.
Right. No, I mean, you're a healthy young man.
No. Well, see, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people think that COVID-19, that 19 stands for the year that COVID was discovered. That 19 stands for the pounds.
The pounds?
That I don't put on. I got that 19.
All right. Dr. Cornell West 2.0. I'm just playing. This is Dr. Seaton. would you mind coming back on and speaking more about specific terms and things like that?
I would love to.
Because it seems like we have a little fun. I like having fun. Laughter's good for the mental health, right?
Yeah, hey, that does the heart good like medicine.
I'm talking about. That's what I do. Well, we'll get back to you. I will invite him back. Hopefully, if you would like to, I'll put some information in the description box of how you may be able to get help, or maybe even get in contact. He might not want you to get in contact with him. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask him. I ask him. But I'll put the information in the description box. Everybody, be blessed and peace be unto you.
Thanks for having me. Peace.
To help you on your health transition, incorporate natural herbal supplements from Earth's Cabinet like soursop leaves, sea moss bladderwrack, immunity booster blend, male support, sarsaparilla root, and burdock root, amongst others. Earth's Cabinet.